everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I am Sean. This is In The Mixer, episode 176 of our Isle of Man series. I hope you had a great weekend, wherever in the world you happen to be watching from. It might even still be the weekend, depending on where you could be. Some absolutely ridiculous results in the Premier League over this past weekend. I'm keen to avoid similarly ridiculous results in the Premier Division in today's episode, because we've got two huge games. It's not the two games that I think we spoke about last week. We've had a couple of reschedulings due to cup competitions, whatever else. But let's jump in and see how we've gone. Right, so as you guys can see, and I'm loving getting in this habit at the moment, right up the tippity top of the table, on 21 games played, 18 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat, plus 27 goal difference, and 56 points sit FC Isle of Man in second spot, but with 1 game more played at Manchester City on 47 points, and on third position with 21 games played, also 47 points, Manchester United. But we do play at Manchester United today. That will be the first game that we play in today's episode. Originally, we were going to have a doubleheader against City and United, 2 trips to Manchester, but due to some scheduling issues with the FA Cup, the 4th round kind of jumped in and pushed that Man City game all the way back to February, which isn't ideal, but maybe, depending on how the results go today, maybe we include that in tomorrow's episode, and tomorrow's episode becomes kind of maybe a triple header with the Valencia knockout games for the Champions League, or maybe we skip the Valencia knockout round altogether because we should be beating them comfortably and jump ahead to the next knockout round of the Champions League. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of football going on at the moment. We've only got 5 days this week to try and fit it all in. There's a whole bunch of great stuff that we're going to try and continue to bring you, as much of it as possible, throughout the course of this week as well. A bit of a change then. We will be playing Fulham away from home, so it's a away trip to Manchester and a away trip down to London as well. They're sitting down in 18th spot, which isn't too bad. Nothing we have to be too concerned about. We are also in the throes of the January transfer window. We don't actually have too much to do, given that we are sitting top of the table. We've got £65 million in the transfer budget, which is lovely. They've increased that quite a bit, which is fantastic. We're keeping an eye on quite a few wonder kids from around the world, but in reality, we don't need to do anything. This is more just if there's someone that comes up that we're worried we might lose to other clubs or other teams. Maybe the most likely one would be this Indio guy who's 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential 18-year-old Brazilian defender. I think he's quite good. Either-footed. Was it Gremio who's been at Milan now for this season, ball-playing defender on cover. Maybe he'd be a replacement for like a Decimard or someone, but I think they want ridiculous money for him. So if we went like 10 million up front, installments for another 30, maybe 20% of the profit from next sale, how would they go with that? No, see, they want stupid money for him. If we made that 10, 40, and then they want 30%, that's fine. We're getting up there now towards 60 million and 50% of the profit. I don't think we'd ever get to that stage. Now they want 78, so no, I think we'll turn that one down. Mainly just because that's way too much money to be putting in for a player that's not really necessary at the moment. There's no one jumping out at me as being like, okay, this is the next great player. Like when we picked up Bruno Castro, he was 4-star current ability. When we got Lucas Gabriel, I think he was 3.5. So I don't think there's anyone out there really at the moment that we want to say is like, yep, you're the guy, you're the one we want, you're who we're going to bring in and it's going to make us better. As far as the squad's concerned, we have been doing relatively well. Everyone is back and fully fit, which is fantastic. A perfect time of the season for that to be working out. You can see quite a few of the abilities now sitting up over 4 stars, which is fantastic. A couple of high potential players still in there. Lucas Gabriel still going. Jose Santana continuing to grow and develop. We want to try and have him hit 4 stars by the end of the season. And at the moment, like Harold, Rivera, Schaefer, they're all just kind of rotating between 4 and 4.5 stars, depending on how their form goes at the moment. You can see Rivera's dropped off a little bit of late, 6.68 over his last 5 games. I do still want to play him today. I don't want to risk kind of ruining the overall cohesion of the squad, but maybe if he doesn't have a great game against United in this first match, maybe we give Yusuf Balde some time in the side to see how he grows and develops with an attacking opportunity. But we don't want to get rid of our elite players. We want to try and keep them in. They're kind of the core group that we're trying to build around. Otherwise, it's pretty strong. We're ready to go almost. Looking at Premier Division stats and stuff, Uli Schaefer, second highest scorer in the division. He's got 13 goals so far this year. Lucas Gabriel's up there for yellow cards. Mancini's got 9 clean sheets. It's weird to see these other players, like that we're not involved anywhere else in terms of average ratings, assists, player of the match awards, anything like that, given that we are sitting top of the division. But I think that's because as a collective, we're very strong. Whereas most of the other sides have some superstar players like Nacho, like Gökhan Keklik, like Lazaro over at Arsenal. Now, we will go in favourites despite playing away from home. We've won 5 straight. United a little bit more inconsistent. They've got a defeat and a draw in their last 5. $1.80 favourites, which I think is perhaps a little bit higher, but nothing to get too concerned about. We are slowly as well bringing back the aggregate score in the head-to-head table. They've still won 7 games, 7 draws, and 4 defeats during that period. We can try and bring that a little bit closer today with a good result. And you can see our most recent results, like a lot of the sides, have been a lot better. 2 draws, 2 defeats in our last 4. And early days, it was just pain whenever we played them. They absolutely tortured us a couple of different times. So looking at the lineup for us, we're going Mancini in goal, Abdesamad and Esteban as a defensive partnership, Carlos Andre at left wing back, Lucas Gabriel at right wing back. I think he's probably going to pick up a yellow card and get suspended for the next match, but that's fine. Fulham's a good one to rotate against. Santana and Henry continue building their partnership at the base of midfield. Harold is the inverted winger on the left, Castro is the inverted winger on the right, Schaefer, our leading scorer for the season, playing as the number 10, and Rivera, our captain, leading the line up top. Looking at United squad, it's Sean Dyche's United. We've played, I think, Zinedine Zidane's Manchester United, Diego Simeone. No, he was Arsenal manager. There was someone else that was big that was Manchester United manager for a bit. Maybe it was before we actually got to the Premier Division. I can't quite remember. Was it Ancelotti or someone? It was someone along those lines. Some big manager previously managed Manchester United before Zidane, and now Sean Dyche, and he's turned it into a very Burnley-looking Manchester United. They play a flat 4-4-2. They are very, very strong though, and that's just down to the individual quality of the players that they have available. Lloyd Doyle in goal leads the league this season in terms of clean sheets. He is the starting England goalkeeper as well. Deluski, the right back here, 30-year-old Polish international. Came through Juventus and was at Legia Warsaw for a bit, then Lazio, and has been at Man United now for 9 seasons. A very, very good attacking fullback. In front of him, Nacho, one of the best players in world football, 5-star current and potential ability, 29-year-old, now Spanish international. He's got a couple of Ballon d'Ors to his name, a couple of World Footballer of the Years. He's in the Spain overall best 11. Is that the best 11 to ever play for Spain? Or is it just since the start of the save and series? Who knows? But there are some big names in there. That's very impressive. Footballer of the Year in 2038. Best player in Europe in 2038. Golden Ball winner in 2037. Footballer of the Year in 2037. World Player of the Year in 2037. Just a phenomenal run. These are all individual awards, by the way, that I'm scrolling through results club history. Just a ridiculous player. Cardio is their captain and their top goal scorer so far this season. He scored against us quite a few times. 30-year-old Spanish international as well. Very, very good player. Can play as an inverted wing on the left. They're playing him up top as more of a deep lying forward. 4.5-star current and potential ability. He'll give us some trouble, I'm sure, throughout the course of the day. He plays alongside Rudy Julberg, who scored against us 100 times as well. 4.5-star current and potential ability. 28-year-old German. I don't know if everybody else experiences this, but Germany are just a footballing powerhouse in this save and in this universe. I think they've won like the last 3 World Cups. Passionately, we're going to say media have given you a lot of credit lately. Actually, no, I take that back. Argentina won the last World Cup because Mancini is now a World Cup winner, which is fantastic. But prior to that, I think Germany had won like 2 or 3. Corner to Nacho, towards near post, it's headed away. Ogus at the ball at the top of the area. Areola, who was previously of Tottenham, now playing on the left wing for Manchester United. Bianconi, switch out far away. Carlos Andre wins it back in a great area, and a lovely reverse pass there for Schaefer. Gets Harold goal side. Can he find the finish? He can indeed. 11th goal of the season for Paul Harold. Wonderful one-touch football there from Ollie Schaefer to release him into space. I definitely get like Dennis Bergkamp type vibes. I guess that's probably because I play him as kind of like a deep lying forward alongside Rivera, who's a bit more like Thierry Henry in his mould. But just like lovely little one-touch football in and around the ground like that. Just releases Schaefer, who's got the pace and dribbling ability to thankfully stay clear of the defence. Corner here again for Man United. Nacho puts it in. It's cleared away by Lucas Gabriel. Then Nacho goes to strike from the edge of the area. It was always outside the post. Had a bit of curling to do, but couldn't quite curl its way back. Throwing now deep on the right-hand side. End-to-end highlights at the moment. Bianconi's won it back in a great area off Arnaud Henry. A lot of work to do wide left area. Just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. Cut back to Antonio Jesus, edge of the area. Thankfully, well over the crossbar. If you had hung a ball back stick there, and that might have been a bit more interesting. Nacho, again from a corner. It's cleared long. Schaefer's got no interest in going after it. Areola recovers for United. Santana with a great win back, and he's got Rivera in front of him, or he's got bodies around him. Deluski with a good tackle recovers possession though for United. Lloyd Doyle switches it out to the left-hand side. Areola, back to Jesus. Now Bianconi, now Jones. You can see that they play a very similar style to what we do. Maybe their wingers aren't as further forward as ours are. Cardio's gotten goal side here and pinballing it around a little bit. It's gotten away there by Santana. Then Henry very calmly plays it out to Lucas Gabriel. Forward now to Castro. Can we do anything on the counter-attack here? Good reverse pass to Rivera. Can he find the finish? It's just beyond the far post. This is the most frenetic opening 15 minutes of a game I think I've seen in quite a while. We've got a corner now towards near post. Esteban was there. Comes back out to Henri. Now Harold, can we get a good ball in the box? Henri cuts it back for Esteban. We need to get him back in defence. Now Castro. Back for Santana. It's poor ball. And now here come Manchester United. The 2v2 at the back. And Deluski's got on goal side. The right back. Thankfully, it's a right back's finish straight at Mancini. Gabriel covers well to get the ball away. I mean, I definitely feel like we might score 5 and they might score 6 at the moment. A good back post header there from Ledesma as I was talking over the top of it. Castro with a lovely weighted ball towards back stick. Keeper can do nothing about it. And Abdesma's 4th goal of the season. I'm guessing they're all from set piece scenarios. Lovely delivery from Castro. Good whip on it. Keeper can do absolutely nothing. And he had 2 defenders right there with him, but he gets up high at far post, heads it home and gives a 2-goal advantage. And more importantly, what would be a 12-point lead at the top of the table as things currently stand. It's 10 minutes to go in the half. We're just going to use a demand more shout. Just give everyone some focus through to half time. They've immediately got a highlight, which is always terrifying. It's cleared away. Areola will get another chance at it. Now Antonio Jesus. Back to Areola. Bianconi. Reverse pass to Cardio. One back well by Esteban. Schaefer looks to send Rivera over the top. Similar area to where he sent Harold. But that time the strike not as good. Well beyond the near post. Goal kick taken here by Manchester United. Deluski comes forward. Is he going to try and wrap his foot around this one? Santana was right there with him the whole way. He gets it to Nacho though. And I tell you what, I would have thought Nacho, given his experience, might have come up with a better strike, but well beyond the far post, which we will take. So at half-time, 11 shots, 5 on target, 50% possession for Manchester United, 9 shots, 4 on target, 50% of the ball for ourselves. I'm kind of, like, I know United are going to come out a little bit more aggressively in the second half, but I think if we drop to positive, here's my thinking, here's my rationale, right? If we drop to positive, we're going to invite too much pressure and they have the individual quality to score. But if we stay attacking, maybe we can keep the ball a little bit more, maybe we can keep them on the back foot a little bit more. Attack is the best form of defense in some ways. Maybe that's the attitude that we need to take into this one. So team talk, we're just going to say I'm very happy with the way things are going. Let's just keep everyone positive as much as possible. And then let's stay on attacking. We'll give it 15 minutes. And then maybe we make a call as to whether we're going to drop to positive after an hour or maybe after 80 minutes. But so far, second half, we're thoroughly dealing with anything they're throwing at us. No highlights for either side. We're just going to let this run for a little bit longer than normal. And we might look to make subs around the 70th minute mark just to try and get some fresh legs and some new ideas out there. Condition-wise, everyone looks pretty good, which is good to see. If we go by rating, Rivera's not had the greatest game. We might bring on Martinez, and he might play as the advance forward just to mix it up a little bit. Lucas Gabriel not having the greatest game either. Esteban's on a yellow card. Yeah, we'll give Gabriel a spell. We'll bring on Furkan Yilmaz just to try and get some extra legs in that wide area. We're going to hit play. We're going to use a Get Creative shout with about 20 minutes remaining in the match, and we've got one more sub up our sleeve, which we're going to do in the last 10 minutes to hopefully just kill off a little bit of time. And we're into that now. Still no highlights in the second half at all. So we'll make that last sub. Carlos Andre hasn't played poorly. You know what? We'll take off Esteban just because of the yellow card. That's the only reason that we're making that change. And then we're also going to use Demand More with about 10 minutes remaining. I've got to throw in here Furkan Yilmaz, first involvement from the sub. Can you find the cutback here to Martinez? It's a poor ball across the box. Warburton sends it out left towards Carlos Andre. Beats the first man. What can he do? Wide left area. Puts it straight at Doyle. Maybe could have looked to get to the byline and cut one back. There were some bodies in the box, but I won't complain. Castro, good corner in. It's headed away. Now Deluski's going to come forward. Thankfully, the highlight comes to an end for us. If you had offered me before the game a 2-0 victory, I definitely would have taken it. And we're through 90 minutes now. In the end, 21 shots, 10 on target, 52% possession for Manchester United. 14 shots, 6 on target, 48% of the ball for the Isle of Man. And a great 2-0 victory. What a performance from everyone. Passionately, we're going to say very happy with the result and the way that you played. And everybody has responded positively, which is always fantastic to see. Does see us go 12 points clear at the top of the table. Not a sight that I'm going to get sick of. It might be boring for you guys, but I absolutely love shit like that. Bianconi gets an 8.9 and a key. 9 key passes is impressive, but I don't think he did that much in terms of highlights that we saw at least. Anyway, that's fine, whatever. Personally, my own personal McDonald's award for Player of the Week would have gone to Uli Schaefer. That assist for Paul Harold's opener was tremendous. Maybe Bruno Castro is a good shout as well. That free kick for Abdesamad's second was very good. We're going to just give everyone 1 day's rest. I don't want to mess up the makeup of the team too much at the moment. But maybe given that Rivera did struggle just a little bit, maybe we give Yusuf Bolde some time against Fulham just to try and get him back. We're just trying to continue his development, really. Other changes, is there anything that we want to do? Not really. Nothing jumping out at me is something that we need to address immediately. So we'll leave it like that. And magic editing, we're going to jump forward to the game against Fulham now. So jumping forward a couple of days, we did use that rest day and most of the side was able to get fully fit for the match, which is fantastic. Just that one change. We're going to give Balday a start and see how he goes against probably one of the weaker defences in the division. I say that, and I know it, because it's a couple of the players that we used to have in our squad. Fulham have had a habit over the last couple of seasons of picking up ex-Isle of Man players, whether it's directly from us, like Jimmy Winter, or via transfers from other locations, like you can see here, Sigurdsson and Escobar. Winter was fantastic for us. He was like never a starting player, but just a really good squad player. Could play anywhere of the front three positions, which was hugely helpful for us. 136 appearances and 12 goals in that period. Very few of those appearances would have been as a starting player. You can see most he made was 20 starting appearances in his final year for the club 3 seasons ago. 9 appearances off the bench, 23 appearances off the bench in his second year with the club. First season, 21 appearances off the bench, 17 appearances off the bench. He was very much behind Neil Peacock in the pecking order, but his versatility across the front three, he was a great sub to have. Got him for 2 million, sold him for 30. Always good to see profit coming through on transfers, particularly for squad players and stuff like that. They've also got George Escobar, who was our captain for a very long time. He was actually our captain when we got promoted from the championship. £1.5 million purchase from Defensor Sporting in Uruguay. Was phenomenal for us in our 2 championship seasons, was fantastic for us our first season in the Premier Division, and even really our second season as well. 7.01 as an average rating for a defender. Very impressive stuff. He then made a few appearances, 12, as he kind of moved to becoming like a backup role-playing type of player. 7 starts, 5 off the bench, before we sold him for £20 million to Frosinone in Italy. And then he made the jump back to the Premier League, a £6.25 million move to Fulham. We got a little bit of cash, not too much. He didn't play as well in Italy as he did for us in England. Hopefully, his career continues to move along at a decent clip. He plays alongside Hilner Sigurdsson. It took me a while to remember how to pronounce that one. He actually weirdly left us to go to Korea. We had him again in that championship campaign where we got promoted. He played alongside Escobar in a very good partnership. He was good again the first season in the Premier Division, keeping us up, getting us that 11th place finish. But then that third season, we really just got different upgrades in. I think Elmedi Mokhtar joined us that season. I think Esteban joined not too much longer after this as well. So we moved him on, £10 million to South Korea. He made the jump back across to England for £4.6 million to Fulham, where he's been for a few seasons. Had a year in the Premier Division, went down to the Championship, was again very good in a promotion-winning season, and has now been in the Premier League for the past 3 years, and still performing at a decent clip. I love left-footed players, especially left-sided centre-backs. I think they just always give you good balance playing out from the back, and he was a very good one for us. I think Fulham have other players as well that were potentially also in our squad. Mohamed Hosseini played for us forever ago, way back in the day. Could have sworn there was someone else. I know Lou Barbosa's gone somewhere. It might have been Everton though. Anyway, Fulham are a side that we should be beating, but it would not surprise me if we beat Manchester United 2-0 away from home and then lose to the side 18th in the division. Assertively, we're going to say media have given them a lot of credit lately. Let's go with that. That always seems to elicit a good response, whether it's calm or assertive. But really, we just want to keep our foot down at the moment. We're on a great successive run of wins. The only defeat we had was via penalties for against Tottenham, in the Carabao Cup in Friday's episode. Really, if we can start the year and get into January, or get through January, in a good run of form, I don't see any reason why we can't continue that as we get into the business end of quite a few different competitions. And if the league is going to kind of run away with it a little bit, they're on a good run here. Coelho goes on an amazing run there. Mancini with a good save, but he walked past about 4 defenders on that little run. As I was saying, if the league's going to be pretty straightforward and we're going to stay 12 points clear, maybe we focus on the Champions League for the rest of the week. Martinelli with the long ball forward. Mancini's there. Good header back into Carlos Andre. And a long one forward towards Harold. Good flick on header. Schaefer's there, but Escobar clears it away. Decimard. I'm actually wondering now, as I look at it, I don't think there's anyone left at the club that Escobar played with. Ball cut back here. Baldo with the chance, and it's a good save from the keeper, to be fair. Didn't have much of an angle to work with. He was right in the middle of his box, but still managed to turn it around the post. Howard with the corner. Escobar with the header away. Arias forward to Coelho, who went on that mazy run before. Just stand him up, boys. He's on a knock. He's on an injury. He's not 100%. Just don't do anything silly. Everyone does stuff silly. He goes past 2 men. Long ball forward. Balde to Schaefer. Out to Harold. Oh, there's a little reverse pass there, but he just delayed playing it. And the highlight comes to an end. But again, one of those highlights where I couldn't tell which way that highlight was going. We've got to throw in now right-hand side. Is this for us, or are they going to win the ball back and go on a mazy run again? Great reverse pass there. Finds Balde. It's pinballing around. Good save again from the keeper. Baldo's had a couple of chances, and you got to wonder, would Rivera have finished one or two of them? Was he starting? Castro, backstick ball to Decimard. It's the same connection that we saw for the second goal against Manchester United. Castro with a deep free kick. Oh, well, sorry, this one's a deep free kick. The last one was a wide free kick. Decimard, far post, nods at home. That's horrific defending. Who's the defender there that was supposed to be watching him? Is he one of mine? It's Escobar. I guess that's probably why we moved him on. Throw in here. Schaefer, backstick ball. Someone's gone down in the box. They're going to go have a look at it. Anthony Kitching with the foul, and we're going to get a chance from the penalty spot. I think... Who is that that's going to be taking it? Santana, the box-to-box midfielder. That's an interesting one. He sends the keeper the wrong way, taking over duties from his Mexican compatriot, Pablo Rivera, who's on the bench today. And a lovely penalty, low and hard to the left of the keeper. And we get a 2-goal advantage heading into half-time. Probably not reflective of the whole half, given that they have had a couple of decent runs, a couple of decent chances. But I'll definitely take it as far as the result is concerned. Decimard, ball forward here to Carlos Andre. He sends a long one forward up the line for Harold to take. He's right-footed by nature. I thought maybe he might curl that one into the far corner, but Martinelli with a good save. Carlos Andre throwing, finds Schaefer. Harold, back to Henri. Switch out towards Bijou. Harold now, edge the area. Great strike there. That was what I was talking about, finding it on his right foot. 12th goal of the season for the England international, and a wonderful finish. We'll check it out here in 3 dimensions. Good triangles worked. Bijou's header is poor. Castro, lovely little reverse pass, finds Harold. Gets beyond the man, drives it towards the near post, keeps scrambling, can't get down to it in time though. And all of a sudden, what has been a pretty tight first half turns into a 3-0 blowout. So at half-time, 2 shots, 2 on target, 44% possession for Fulham. 12 shots, 8 on target, 56% of the ball for the Isle of Man. We are going to passionately tell everyone, very happy with the way things are going. Keep it up, lads. And then we're just going to hit start on the second half. We don't really have too much to worry about. We might just keep an eye on condition as far as the subs go. I know Lucas Gabriel tends to do quite a bit of running in games. We'll probably bring on Furkan Yilmaz. You can see Santana there has got a yellow card. Maybe we bring on Hisham Haji for a little bit. Plunkty with a good save from Mancini. Pushes it out for the corner. That was just a defensive error, it looked like. Gave away the ball in transition. Didn't get the line out effectively in time. Quello with the corner. He's still out there on the park spot carrying that knock. Winter, first we've really seen from the ex-Isle of Man player, but eventually Plunkty's header well over the crossbar. I thought we were going to see a free kick there for a split second, but it just disappeared for whatever reason, and we're through the hour mark, so we might as well hit pause. Fulham were, when we were in the Championship, that side that had way more money than everybody else. I think they've just yo-yoed between the two divisions over the last few years. We're going to bring on Hisham Haji for Santana, and you know what? We might make that other change. Even though he's had a great game, Lucas Gabriel, let's not risk him. Let's get Furkan Yilmaz out there. Just tactical rotation a little bit here, just trying to get good minutes into our sub players, just trying not to overburden some of the younger players in the starting lineup. We'll give it until the 80th minute before we make that last change. Carlos Andres won the ball back in a great area and sent the ball that goal side. This might be his chance, and it's a great finish from the young Spaniard. 7th goal of the season for him. A lovely pass from Carlos Andre as well. Won the ball back in a great area, just put it into a decent little channel between the two centre-backs. And to be fair, it's a great run and a great finish from Balde. Just tears away from the two of them. Escobar gets his positioning all wrong. Sigurdsson can't go with him, and he just leathers that one. He doesn't overthink it, doesn't look for placement, doesn't try and curl it. Just, I'm going to hit this as hard as I can, and if you want to get in the way of it, then that's your fault. Corner for Fulham. I do want to keep a clean sheet now. Sigurdsson forces a great save out of Mancini. It's showing us this highlight because it comes up every game at the moment, and we don't need to see it. Sports Interactive, make it an option that I can turn it off. 10 minutes to go in the half. We're going to just have a quick look tactically. Mancini just pulled off a phenomenal save, and they're saying that he's not playing well. That's probably not 100% fair. Might give a winger some time. We might bring on Frank Richard. He earns quite a bit of cash to sit on the bench most weeks, so we'll give him a bit of a spell for Bruno Castro, who has again been fantastic in today's episode. Set piece delivery has been phenomenal from him throughout the course of the series, and today has been no different. Harold with the throw in here. Haji, ball over the top towards Balde. Didn't have enough curl on it to find back post. Martinelli comes out and claims. 3 additional minutes of injury time. I do want to try and keep a clean sheet, boys, if we can. This one would be a good little boost for our goal difference. Duboc with the ball now. Back to Escobar, who, it must be said, has played pretty poorly. His clearance is straight to Carlos Andre. Back through Mancini. Can we switch sides now, please? Can we work it out to the right? Out to Esteban. Now Richard. Good boys. I'm glad you listened. I'm glad the voice commands are working correctly. Furkan Yilmaz. Wide right area. Can he beat the man? Cuts it back to Richard. Yilmaz, back to Henri, square ball to Haji, reverse pass to Balde, squared to Schaefer. Fantastic football. That's, to quote Alan Partridge, liquid football in its best possible form. Just lovely 1 and 2 touch passing in and around the 18-yard box. Richard with the great pass there, Yilmaz to Henri, across to Schaefer, one touch to ball day, square ball to Schaefer, and he just levels that one into the far right-hand corner. Keeping do nothing about it. 22nd goal of the season for him, and we're only in January. And that is just the icing on what has been a very lovely cake in today's episode. 5-0 victors in the end. 8 shots, 5 on target, 44% for Fulham in the second half. You can see they did come back into it a little bit more in terms of chance creation. 20 shots, 12 on target, 56% of the ball for the Isle of Man. Passionately, we're going to say, very happy with the result and the way that you played. A 5-0 victory away from home is always incredibly impressive. And it does see us stay 12 points clear at the top of the table. And I think we are up to 34 goal difference, which is great. That kind of takes away the one advantage that Man City and Man United had against us previously. Their impressive goal differences. Now, where does that set us up? Usbald actually got the Man of the Match award. 1 goal, 1 assist, 9.3 match rating. We'll give him a bit of praise as well. Superb in front of goal last time out, and he's progressing quite nicely for the 19-year-old wonder kid. Cannot believe he was a free transfer, but I can't believe Willie Schaefer was a free transfer as well. Some of those big clubs letting go of some very promising young talent. And the toughest thing we've got now, like the most difficult portion of the save at the moment, and this isn't a complaint, this is a great thing to have happen, but we've just got to try and figure out how to keep everyone happy and keep everyone getting minutes. Now, looking forward, I think what we're going to do is, I think we're going to skip the City game, I think we're going to skip the first leg against Valencia. Maybe we come back and do the second Champions League knockout round leg against Valencia, and then the home match against Chelsea. They're down in 8th spot, but last season they were perhaps our biggest rivals of the season. It is jumping forward a chunk, but we have to jump forward a chunk at one point or another to try and get our Champions League knockout games in this week, because I think there's 5 knockout rounds and only 4 days remaining in the week. Maybe if we do make it to the final, we'll give you like a Saturday bonus episode to kind of make up for last week or the week before when I forgot to upload any episodes due to technical issues that came up with the channel. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll continue to bring you guys the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's do tomorrow a monster episode. Let's go with Valencia in the first leg, Valencia in the second leg, and then we'll have a look at who our second knockout round leg opponents are. I don't know. I've lost the ability to speak. My brain's gone to mush. But that will mean we probably play 4 games off screen in that episode, which should bring you guys a chunk of the Premier Division season, albeit in a summary, and then also potentially an update on our FA Cup matches as well. I think that'll go well. I think that's what we should focus on for tomorrow. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is the portion that I appreciate the most. If you want to go that little bit extra, that little bit further, you can drop a like on this video. Please, that YouTube algorithm, get us higher in people's search results when they look for Football Manager content. Or you can subscribe to the channel to continue to be brought up to date on videos as they release right up until the release of Football Manager 2021. We have got some exciting stuff coming up with FM21. We've got some exciting collaboration stuff, which I won't go into too much detail about just now. It's not entirely Football Manager related. It's kind of real life football as well. I'll bring you guys up to date on that in a future video on the channel. We've also got a beta save to announce. We've also got full link save to announce, which I think will probably be held over until the start of January to give our beta save, a proper 8 weeks. Given that Football Manager is coming out a little bit later this year than previous seasons. And as always, we've got giveaways in terms of like copies of Football Manager. I might try and get my hands on some Football Manager merch if I can. There's a whole bunch of different exciting things that we're going to be doing on the channel, and it'll be fantastic if you can join us for that ride as well. But like I always say, more than anything, I just appreciate you guys watching. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.